to see you, family and friends. Another night of adventure. I forgot, of course, to plug in my microphone. I'm just going to do that. It'll take a second. And meanwhile, everybody else can get the chats warmed up. Start thinking what you're thinking. This is all about metacognition, about thinking about your thoughts and trying to figure out where they're heading, where they're taking you. So excuse me for this. It's a pretty interesting process. I mean, if you saw how I broadcast, it's all you would know that I'm a do-it-yourselfer wannabe redneck out here in the middle of nowhere with this old music stand that I've jacked up to be kind of a studio. Okay, that's in. Now let's just plug this in. Thanks for your patience. I'll just plug this in. It should be all set to go. There we go. Okay. Now we'll just check the microphone and the right one now. Okay. So we're live. Sorry about that. Today I Danielle and I have hoisted how many beams? 6 of them? I know at least 6. So I think 6 really enormous beams into place. This is, I think the technical term might be what I remember when I was a contractor, might be called balloon framing, which is not a framing that's popular these days. Everything is very layered and from the ground up, and it's all a precise way of building. Our way of building is not at all precise. And we started with cedar posts because I know that the Beis Hamikdash, the Mishkan, the tabernacle was built out of cedar posts. And I know from experience from being a carpenter that cedar is very good, has a very long life, and it resists pretty well insect attack and the like. So knowing that I wasn't going to be able to afford to get a concrete truck, and not even knowing if a concrete truck would miss your song, The Great Awakening. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. That's on my mind. That's definitely, I haven't touched my guitar for months, but I do want to do The Great Awakening. This is the Great Awakening. Yeah, I have to do it. It's a beautiful song. Thank you for encouraging me, Logical Spark. Anyway, so we put these cedars around our house. We put them into rocks. Knowing what little I know about living in the desert, people are saying it's going to rot out if you put it underground. I'm like, well, what's going to cause it to rot out? There's no moisture up here. They can't. It's like the cars in Arizona. We see cars from the 50s and 60s. They're fine because it's not like New York where they throw tons of salt on the road. Things don't rust in Arizona. So I'm thinking like, well, okay. So anyway, we put the cedar posts, we tied them in with these ponderosa pine. They're called quarter rounds, big, massive logs, pieces of logs, like a quarter section of a log. And then we filled in the space, we framed it out, we put in some windows, some sliding glass doors that we got for real cheap. After that, we not knowing what kind of material we were going to have access to, and I should have pictures for this. I don't know why I'm going into this. I do have a point to this. So then we got this thing called dunnage. In other words, I paid a gentleman at True Value like over $1,000 to get essentially 5 truckloads of dimension lumber, which I wasn't really planning to use. But then I said, listen, whatever material we have, and I couldn't afford to get the lumber at Home Depot. It's just out of it's just ridiculous. So we got all this dunnage, and in the dunnage were these 4 by 10 by 20 foot huge, massive, the dimensions like this, and it's 20 feet long. So Danielle and I heroically, this really took, I mean, if we've done anything heroic, it was this. It was to take a 20-foot post that thick and push it up into place, the 2 of us. We did it 6 times, and we have 6 of these massive 20-foot, actually, I cut them down to 18 foot, but 18-foot pillars in it that make that encircle the back of the house. Well, today I managed to frame in to put what I call a skirt around these 6 pillars. So, but in doing that, now I have a frame to hang what are called ceiling joists or floor joists. In our case, it's really going to be floor joists and ceiling joists, meaning the long. Well, I'm using 2x6s, which is a very, just because I have a ton of 2x6s, not because I want to. I'd rather use 2x8s or 2x10s, but that's what I have. So I'll double them up if I have to. I'm sure it'll be fine. So today, for the first time, we've been here over, I think, over a year and a half now. We have something that resembles a roof or a ceiling or something above us. And it is just it's so exciting for me to see this because it hints at the potential or the possibility that eventually we'll get the RV out of here and we'll have something like a house. We'll have, at least in the back section, I'll have the platform for my proposed studio, which will have views that cannot be cannot be undervalued. I mean, they are. If you go up another 10 feet from the ground here, it's it's stunning. It's beyond stunning. It's already stunning, but it's like stunning times 2. So yeah, it's but this is really like taking shape, and it also gives me a feeling that when it rains, at least I'll have, we have the shell around our RV. We have a shell, so we're protected from the high winds, and that makes a huge difference for us because when you step outside of this enclave, the wind is brutal. So we've managed to like keep the wind out, and this is all just a discovery process. But now we'll be able to actually keep the rain and the sun out, at least in one section of the house. So it's just it's just unbelievable to do it yourself like this. It's just so much fun. It is backbreaking. I mean, it is I mean, my back was aching because I've been carrying like long pieces of lumber all day. But it's done. It's done. And once something in life is done, it's done. And what I find is the things that I really focus on and then they happen, I don't have to think about them anymore. And I think that's the way life proceeds. You focus on something, you've got to have this thing, whatever it is, you have to accomplish something. You accomplish it, and then it's like, okay, it's done. I don't have to think about it anymore. But on the other hand, when something is accomplished in this way, you have what to stand on. So when I was buying the hot water heater, for example, I was thinking to myself, I've never put in a hot water heater. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think I can do it. I know the basics of it. Is it going to be okay? Is it going to really work? Is it an, I got to, my friend at True Value sold me one that was a couple years old. Is it really a good one? Is it all these questions that rattle your cage for days, and you go to sleep at night thinking about it, and then once it's in, you just forget about it. But it's there. We have hot water. We now have the outline of some kind of ceiling slash floor for my studio, which I've been planning for years to have a studio in the back of the house facing north. Just like when I had the house on the beach, the apartment on the beach, I had a northern, I believe it was a northern face, where actually it wasn't northern. That was actually, yeah, it was difficult because it wasn't northern. But I've learned enough, and I'm in sync enough with the idea of sunlight. Even when I lived in Brooklyn, when I was gardening in Brooklyn, I had to be aware of the way the sunlight came through the tall buildings, because there's certain sectors of my little tiny plot of land that didn't get sun. And I grew fruit trees. I had huge agricultural experiments going on in my little Brooklyn garden, but I learned to really observe the patterns of the sun, the patterns of the climates. I've talked to you about how I watched the tides when I was a fisherman. It's all about observation. I mean, a lot of life is just, you like, we just put in our storage tank. We have 1,000-gallon storage tank. I haven't filled it with water yet, but I knew that I had to put some plywood or boards on the southern side, and it's turning out I'm gonna also have to put boards on the eastern side, which I didn't think I was gonna have to do. And because of the angle, because I didn't really put it in a true north-south orientation, I will probably have to cover bits of all the sides to keep the sun off the tank before I fill it. But this is for me very important. And now that I have 6 fruit trees that really get almost full sun, then I'm faced with another problem, which is in the summer, in the hot summer, they get too much sun, and I have to protect them from the wind, all these things. But I'm just grateful that I got to see, that I got to finish this skirt around the second, really what's gonna be a second floor on the house. It's amazing. So, yeah, incorporate them in your songs. Yeah, I'll try to. Yeah, I okay, so here's something else that I wanna, say this to Logical Spark. This is, to me, an important concept. I've been working on the Great Awakening song for at least 5 years now. Actually, I think I started toying with the melody. This particular melody came to me more like probably 20 years ago. I was just, there's a certain chord change that really fascinates me. I think it's a C9. It's a C9 going, it's going from like D to it's the same basic pattern as Sweet Home Alabama, but it's more of a slower, in more of a slower thing. Also similar to Weed, Whites, and Wine, one of my favorite songs of all times. And I'm still willing, late on the road, late at night, I see my pretty Alice in every headlight. That song by Lowell George and Little Feat is just my all-time, probably my all-time favorite song. I'm still willing. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. I've driven the back roads so I wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me, I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube. I mean, what do I care? Weed, whites, and wine, and you show me a sign, I'll be willing. I just love, the feeling of that. And this is really what as patriots, it's just like, what else is new? Eating kids, right? the government trying to poison us with the vaccines and with the food and with the water, and I mean, and I'm still willing, it's just show me a sign, it's just so we're still willing, man. We're that's how we're built. I choose to do this pretty much every day. I'm not gonna be doing Friday nights for now, for a while, but you never heard that song? Oh, I love that song, man. Lowell George, Little Feat. We almost Daniela picks the music that we listen to in our big old truck, and she basically focuses on Little Feat, which is spelled Feat, Little Feat. Lowell George, it's a Southern blues band, kind of a Southern rock blues band. He does a lot with slide guitar, but it's just funky good, man. It's just like, it's just good stuff. What are the songs? Oh, he has "If You'll Be My Dixie Chicken, I'll Be Your Tennessee Lamb. And we'll have fun together down in Dixieland." Just great songwriter. Right up there in my mind with Jerry Jeff Walker. Jerry Jeff Walker is another great songwriter. He wrote "If I Can Just Get Off of This LA Freeway Without Getting Stoned or Caught." I forget what it is. It's just, and he did a lot of great things. "And it's up against the wall, redneck mother." Jerry Jeff is just, but oh yeah, Jerry Jeff's the great song that I really love of Jerry Jeff's was, no, that's the Freight Train. That was, the Jerry Jeff's the real great Jerry Jeff. Oh, yeah, 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 was, "I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you in worn out shoes, ragged hair and ragged pants, and na na na." About about Jerry Jeff being thrown into jail and meeting this guy. I don't know if it's fictional or probably it's based on a real character named Bojangles. "Mr. Bojangles, dance," and Bojangles would dance for the prisoners and whatever. But that's like that is one of the great all time songs, Bojangles. Right up there with the other one I was just thinking of, which is um, the American about the American Railroad. That was oh, can't my memory escapes me, but yeah, there's a great song about anyway, it'll come to me. Linda Ronstadt covered it. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I don't know how I got off on that one, but I think it's just there's certain songs that capture certain aspects of your thought streams that you can't express in a rational way. Like there's no way I could describe to you the feeling I get when I listen to Weed, Whites, and Wine. Willing. I think it's called Willing. The song is called Willing. But it makes me feel like, like it's gonna be okay. I've done this before. I'll do it again. It's like you just get up, you put your pants on in the morning, and you just go out there, and whatever happens. But I don't feel like a victim anymore. I really do not. I used to when I was younger. I was just like, okay, man, what? As my friend Smitty used to say, Smitty was my sponsor and AA's sponsor. Smitty's no longer with us. Smitty was the wise man by the coffee machine, and Smitty would say he had these great quotes like. I put on my hip boots and hope the shit's only knee high, and things like that. Smitty was just had his way with Smitty quotes, but Yeah, so, everything is working out. It's just that we're going through the adventure of a lifetime. This is the great this is Grand Theft Children. I saw that meme. This is the greatest adventure ever, and I believe. Okay, so and this is a military the military took over during the inauguration. When you saw all those military this is was I'm just figuring this stuff out now because of all the posts. You have to understand that X is probably heavily manipulated by the white hat military, by the apparently they even have a whole section of the military that makes memes, or a battalion of this is information warfare. And we all do our part. We all do our little part. I mean, I can't do all the things that most of the podcasters do, which is really report on in a linear way on news. I don't have the mind. I don't have the I just don't think like that. I don't think in this happened and then this happened and because of this, but really what it means, and I did this research on it. That's just not for me. Old Dogs and Children and Watermelon Wine, yeah. And there's another one that, about, Shoemaker, the great, the cowboy boots, about this guy, who could make the best cowboy boots ever, and he was like, all these things. I like Subversion of Bojangles, Nina Simone's. I don't know that. I don't really follow music. I did for a while when I was considered myself a musician back in the day. What the title is just Willin'. Yeah, the title is Willin'. But the chorus is Weed, Whites, and Wine. So yeah, it's a great song, and there are a lot of they're just great songs. Um Going down the road, feeling bad. Yeah, I'm going down the road. That's an old folk song. Feeling bad. Just the Dead did a great cover of that. Really, it just rocks. I used to be in a blue. I started out playing bluegrass music, so I knew all these tunes from bluegrass. "Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms," "Rocky Top." That was, and all those. Little Sadie now, I'm hearing a lot from Grateful Dead, people. Little Feat's all it's not Grateful Dead? No, it's, Phil Lesh, right? Not Phil Lesh, his the other guy, the rhythm guitar player, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So, you and I were raised on this kind of music. I used to leave my parents were very, like now probably my parents would go to jail because they were so they basically I'm like, "Mama," I was like 15 years old. I'm like, I'm going into New York City. I'm going to a concert tonight." And I'd drop acid and watch Grateful Dead or the Allman Brothers at the Fillmore East, or I'd go to there was a theater in Portchester, which is near me, and see the Grateful Dead. I think I was there at the '73 recording. Sparky Brown, I always talk about Sparky Brown, and it always comes back to Sparky Brown because he was the coolest dude that ever lived. But Sparky Brown was apparently there's a picture of Sparky Brown from the Summer of Love that was on the first Grateful Dead album. There was a picture of Sparky Brown. I doubt I would recognize him because I knew Sparky when he was probably 60s, 70s. I don't know if I would recognize him from those days, but that's Sparky, man. Sparky was just the best. Sparky was he just understood you. Whoever you were, he was right there with you. He was a true guru. He knew you. He knew you. He could see right through you, and with love, with such deep love. I went to the Fillmore, yes. I didn't go a lot of times, but I did go to the Fillmore a couple of times. I think I was very disappointed to hear the Allman Brothers. Now I'm like, "What are you talking about? The Allman Brothers is so much fun." After I started out in bluegrass, I did go to the Fillmore East. I eventually, moved to Nashville when I was 19. I tried to go to college, and I was just like, "Screw this," and I went to Nashville. I was playing banjo at the time, just banjo. I think I owned a guitar, but I wasn't that I was just learning how to play guitar, and I went to Nashville, and I joined a square dance band, and the brothers, there were 2 brothers there. They were like Southern rockers, like the real deal, man. I mean, I just I've always loved Southern rock best, probably. Even though I started with bluegrass, I don't have bluegrass is cool, but and it's soulful, but, yeah, give me Sweet Home Alabama, give me, Freebird, any of that stuff. It's an automatic groove out beyond, like, I definitely can't function and listen to those tunes at the same time. I love Southern rock. I love a good I marvel at the great guitar playing of the Southern rockers. Even to this day, and I am a bit of a frustrated, guitar player in that I don't actually own an electric guitar. I sold my guitars over the years. Yeah, it was a great album. Yeah, I heard them at the Fillmore East. At the time, I really wanted to hear the Grateful Dead. I was like, I don't remember, I mean, I was there. I was very young to be doing that, but like I said, my parents were very cool. They're like, Okay, you want to go, take the car." It's like, this eventually that attitude led me into not in such a good place, but that's the best music, cars, and the best woman. We had the best music, the best cars. Yeah, you're right. The Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmores was a great album. Yeah. That was yeah, I think I scored some Purple Haze that night. That's what I remember anyway. So anyway, yeah, it's all good. So we're going through another adventure. This is just part of, instead of going to the Fillmore East, we're going on to X, and we're finding out all this. It's a constant it's a constant awakening. And sometimes you see things on not often. Danielle and I are on X pretty much whenever we're not working outside or cooking, and we spend a lot of time doing both. We not no, we don't spend a lot of time cooking, but the eating process. We don't eat in the morning. We usually have fruit salad around 12, and then like at 3 or 4, one of us will say, "Should we make something? Should we eat something?" And we'll go, "Yeah, let's eat something," and then we'll defrost something from the freezer and eat it. And we usually make what I call health salad, which is like some sauerkraut, some cabbage, whatever vegetables we happen to luck out and buy in town. And, I have to have my raw garlic every day and my, ginger and stuff. Been listening to Skynyrd. Yes, Skynyrd, man. I mean, I love Skynyrd, and the guys I used to play with, they were Skynyrd men. They were just Skynyrd to the core. They were so good, man. They were just we played this square dance band. So we played a square dance at Big Daddy's Square Dance Barn in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, every Saturday night. And I had a relationship with one of the daughters of this family, and she was, kinda like got me into, whatever. She was, my first real thing, and we played, bluegrass sometimes, we played anyway, yeah. best performance ever, Joe Cocker singing with a little help from my friends in Woodstock. Yeah, I guess so. I had a friend who went to Woodstock. I didn't go. I wasn't that into music at that point. It wasn't until I picked up the banjo at 15 that I really got into music. But my friend went. I think he was like 14. Okay, so all this is leading to like the idea of things that come to us as part of the unfolding nature of reality. Yes, we're willing. You show me a sign, and I'll be willing to be moving. We're willing. Now, so we're constantly going through all this information. I go like that, it's just I've seen it, I know it, I this, that. There was a tape this morning that I just happened on, and I'm not going to play the whole tape, but I thought it was massively impressive, and it touched upon a thing that is of great interest and has been of interest to me for many years. In fact, when I first went to yeshiva, I've told the story that I got into a discussion with a rabbi that lasted for years about whether or not the expulsion from the Garden of Eden was, if God knew about it or if it was an accident. Now, if you really believe in source, there's no room for, there's no accidents, but it's not scripted either. That the reality is choices, but given knowing that you are what you are, does the creator know what choice you're going to make ahead of time? I don't delve into those particular thought streams anymore. I no longer find it interesting. For a long time, I was looking for the truth. Now I don't really. I feel like I'm like kind of like swimming in it, and I don't really think about it so much because it's kind of like a fish in the water. The fish may not be aware of the water. It is water, and it's in water. So too with the idea of spirituality. I I no longer have those kinds of hard edges like, well, you have to do this and this if you want, or this is the way it's done, or those kinds of things don't hold my attention anymore. I saw this tape, and the quality of this tape is so professional that I have to think a lot of these people you're hearing on X are military trained. This is a military operation. It isn't just random people that there are certain characters in this mix that present, like this guy Jesse is always angry and saying F words, and he's always at the end he always blames Israel, and it's just like, Ian Carroll's that way also. I know that, the end, the answer to it all is it's the Jews did it. I think, I mean, having been Orthodox and considering I still consider myself Jewish, perhaps ancestry-wise and that sort of thing, but questioning it all. I think the Yidden are just as much victims as any other religion. I think we've all been victimized in a sense, which is the way my parents believed, and I rebelled against it, and I became Orthodox, and my father was like, "What are you doing?" He was just like, "You're not gonna drive on Shabbos? Even if I drive, you won't drive in my car?" I mean, because at the time, I was really wrapped up in the magic of accepting the lifestyle, of accepting the pursuit of godliness in a certain with a certain, in a mindset. We're sitting here watching, we've been reminiscing and laughing away. Thanks. That's good. Yeah, we need to laugh. We need to laugh. I'm so happy. So it's it's magical. I mean, if you think about it, I just I just there's a woman who posts a liberal white woman that I grew up with on Facebook, and she just I'm like I don't want to say her name, but I was like, what is wrong with you? You grew up in this big house. Your father was like a famous person. You had everything. You went to the best schools. And you're sitting here blaming ICE. I'm like, what part of your brain is missing? So I finally, I get so angry every time I want to somehow, and I don't get on Facebook. I purposely avoid Facebook because it's too personal. It's all about person. I love everyone. I love all my old friends, but I don't really want to. I don't want to go back in time and hang out with them in the way we did 50 years ago. I just not. But anyway, this one woman always complaining about ICE. I'm like, you went to the best schools. You were the biggest goody goody that ever lived. You did exactly what and now you're rebelling against Trump. Like you think this is cool. I just but so I eventually I went against my nature. My nature is just say, look, just don't just block her out. But then I answered her. I said, are you serious? With the Epstein files, with 800 children going missing a year, you're blaming ICE and President Trump? I mean, what part of your brains was evaporated from all this goody goody shit? What part of your consciousness was dissolved by going to an Ivy League school and being a successful corporate attorney? Have you lost your friggin' brain? ICE is the problem? So anyway, so I answered her, and I feel like at least in the upper realms that she took it. I was expecting her to like just floor me, to come back. She's a very strong woman, very strong. I figured I was going to hear back from her. I didn't know what the consequences were going to be, but I get the feeling in the upper realms that she was just like, hey man, that somebody finally called her out on it, and she was just like, because if somebody is really blustery and strong like that, it means that they might be protecting a kind of a weakness inside that's very vulnerable to to attack, to a different point of view. It's a pissing contest. Yeah, I don't know. It all starts with a thought. Look where thought came from. What you are. Don't believe the mind, the chaos, and the terror. Right. So I really want to play this video for you because this video just blew my mind. And she mentions things about religion. I'm not going to play it. It's a 6-minute video, but I have to believe that there are people in charge that really know what's going on, like with the reptilians and all this. She mentions this, but I was just floored with it. I'm not going to play the whole tape, but I usually get like 1 or 2 videos per day. I'm totally impressed with this guy, Zachary Fisher. I know this is a military operation because he basically he's able to unwind all the angst, all the anger and the people screaming about, what am I going to do now? The world is led by pedophiles. Well, we've all known that for years. I saw a post also that said in 2017, Q came out and told us about Epstein. So we've known about this for a while. I'm going to play this tape, and I want to see if you have. But it also, this tape opens up questions that I have about the story in the Garden of Eden. And remember, all three major religions start with Genesis, including the Quran. The Quran, the Christian Bible, and the Old Torah all start with Genesis. Genesis is the most mystic book of the Bible. So this story is a captivating story, and here's the thing that really this is what's behind this is like a metacognitive thinking is that your ideas about a particular narrative or a scene or a person in your life, it changes with time. You don't look at your first lover the way you did when you were whatever age you were. You it was you know it everything stays the same, but our viewpoints and our development changes so that and this was particularly true in the last couple years. A few years ago, when I was mostly posting the information I was seeing on Telegram, that we would do a post from, I think there was somebody called like the White Hats or something like that. And given the information we were being fed at the time, our understanding of a certain and our not just our understanding, but our feeling toward a particular narration or a particular thought changed. So we would read this thing together, and then I would read the same passage 3 months later, and we had a totally different understanding of that passage. So I've been analyzing this story. Was the reptile doing anything wrong? Was the reptile the good guy telling eat from the tree of knowledge, man? Is that a bad thing? God kicks us out of the Garden of Eden because we eat from the tree of knowledge? You would think God would want that. His creatures, they want to know stuff. Uh, I mean, how could God be pissed off about that? Well, they say in Judaism he was pissed off because he was going to let us eat from the tree of knowledge on Shabbos, but it wasn't quite Shabbos. We were almost at Shabbos, and Adam went rogue. You know, I'm eating that stuff, man. Or Eve went rogue. So the reptile is portrayed as the evil one, and we know about the reptilians, and then you have to question, well, was it really God? Was it really the all-encompassing spirit, the tetramagan, the four-letter name of God that's above nature, that is all-encompassing? The gematria of 26, 2 times 13. 13 is echad, meaning unity. So 2 times echad is like the beginning of creation, where you have two things. You have you and your thoughts, or your inside and your outside. You have this duality starting. But in the Garden of Eden, is that was when Moses saw the back of God, was it the God of all creation itself, or was it something else? So this particular, I'm just going to play the film, the thing. A pissing contest defined as a conflict or dispute where the goal is in resolution is proving superiority. That's good, Zeta boy. I get it. Sorry to break this to you guys, but Queen Romania is legit. I was in Ottawa, so to install her myself in Ottawa during the truckers convoy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Queen Romania is legit. Facebook. Okay, so yeah, now I know what a pissing contest is. We're sitting here watching you and reminiscing. Okay, it all starts with thought. Okay, so let me get to this, and I'll let you guys judge for yourself. I'm just going to play the back end of this clip, the last 2 minutes, but it is I found it. Maybe I should go. Let me start in the beginning, and I'll just fast forward it because it's a stunning clip. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, wait. I have to start it first and then start playing it. So I'm learning. This is a new thing for me. Thanks to Restream. They're retraining me. Let's see. Is this it? No. Is this it? No, that's X. I think it's over here. Here it is. Okay. All right. I'm going to start it and then I'm going to fast forward it.
And you're feeling the fear and the despair and the darkness, I'm here to help. I learned about the Epstein files several years ago and was sure that couldn't be true. It's too awful to be true. But it's true. That's why it's coming out now. This is the unveiling, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Things are going to get crazier than you can even imagine. And you don't need to fear, and there's going to be a lot of fear in the air. So I'm just here to set the record straight. Many who have had a spiritual awakening of any sort have walked through this part of the darkness and had to alchemize it and had to be called crazy for even believing it. But now you know. It's crazy, but it's true. Awful things that could be done to the most innocent of beings. So once you know what you need to know, step away from that and be the change. Don't keep diving down those rabbit holes. It's not good for you once you know. The light of God isn't meant to see that stuff. You're here to create a new world. We're not just saving these children, we are saving the world from what has been in power for all of time. And it's just getting started. If you think this stuff is crazy, just wait. This year is going to reveal more than you think you can handle, but you will handle it because you were created to handle it. And you were put here right now to be the army that takes down the darkness that has had us imprisoned for nearly all of time. So don't fear and don't make it a dualistic situation of left versus right. This is beyond our American politics. This is an intergalactic war for the light of God that lives in all of our souls. But we've already won, like I said. It's already been won. Now we just watch it play out in the physical reality. And it's going to look scary, but don't let it come through that lens of fear. Let it come through a lens of the most necessary unraveling that has ever been. Shine your light on it. Live as love and do whatever it is that you can do in your world, in your realm, to bring heaven to earth again. It's coming. It's on its way. These dark entities are terrified of you remembering who you are and the power you hold within. So remember it and shine your light on all of the darkness, and we will transmute it. And this will be heaven on earth again. I love you all. Stay tuned. We're going to talk much more in depth about this in our podcast, Transcending the Rabbit Hole. I love y'all.
Okay, I didn't get the part that I really wanted to play, didn't play. Let me see if I can just get that. Let me um
the Epstein files now. What you're seeing play out as Epstein files is what's been going on for all of time. They've been here all along. But do not fear. There's a reason why the Bible says that so many times. Do not fear, because fear is loose for these entities. Fear feeds them. Fear keeps them alive. You need to awaken into your inner divinity now, your inner light now that was given to you by God, if we're going to overcome this. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we've already won. In the higher realms, we've already won. It just takes a while to show up here in the physical reality. But you're seeing it. It's trickling down now, and it's awful to look at. But if you don't look at it, it's not going to change, and we're not going to be able to take the world back. This intergalactic and interdimensional war that has been going on for all of time has hit a climax point here. This is where everything changes. When all of this first came to my awareness several years ago, I couldn't believe it. It sounded too insane to be real. But it's real. And you need to look it in the face and shine the light of God on it, because that's the only way we're getting out of this realm of hell that we live in on this earth. This is supposed to be heaven on earth, and we are here to make it heaven again on earth. But the only way we do that is stepping into our own power, knowing who and whose we are, and living from that place of love and light. Inform yourself, but don't over-inform yourself, because you are the light of God. You're not made to read horrific email after email after email about the most awful things that could be done to the most innocent of beings. So once you know what you need to know, step away from.
Anyway, she at some point she talks about the idea that we've been misled in terms of religious ideas, and that this is a war that is intergalactic. She talks about reptilians and the Loosh. She mentions the Loosh. It just, when I listen to it again, it's impressive, but it's not what what was really impressive is kind of my reflection of it, in that she was talking about the power that we have inside naturally. You don't have to worship in a certain way. I mean, you could worship in a certain way, but the power is ours, and the enemy is terrified of us standing up and just being in our power, of believing in our might and not feeding them the fear. Like, for example, and I mean, it's kind of a weird example, but when this young man pulled me over, this policeman or whatever he was, he said, "Where's your registration? Your registration is overdue." I said, "I don't want to get registered. I don't, it's not part of it's not in the Constitution doesn't require me to get registered to drive on the roads. I'm an off-gridder, man. I'm like a backwoods kind of farmer type dude. And I'm driving into town to get some groceries for me and my girl. But it's like, well, you have to show up at court on this, and it's like, but once you engage them and once you get into their fear space, they've won. The thing is just to kind of walk away and just say, well, listen, I'm sorry, but no offense to you. I don't have to be angry about it. I'm not going to your court. I don't accept your courts. I think they're satanic, and I'm not going to show up, and I'm not going to get a lawyer, and I'm not going to do anything. And if you're going to throw me in jail, you will. But I'm just telling you, I'm a sovereign citizen, and I'm not, so I don't know. I guess I was just, the thing that really impressed me about her was her talk about the fact that you have the power. And that's what I always say. You are the light. You are the force. We are the force. We have the power. We've been dominioned. They've diminished our light. They've diminished our ability to see who we really are. That's what these creepazoid parasites have done to us by making all these silly rules. It's the rules. Oh, you can't do that it's Friday. You can't do that on Friday. You could do it on Thursday at 3 o'clock, but you can't do it on Monday. But unless you have a certain paper from this judge, and it's like by the time you just it takes you completely out of your power because you're so concerned. Well, hold on a minute, man. Uh, you mean my whole life is about to be destroyed because I can't come up with a certain paper and I don't have the signature from this one? I mean, it used to be worse. It used to be when I would go to the Department of Motor Vehicles in New York City or New York, I was just like, oh no. I wasn't spiritually mature. I was like, I don't have the signature. I have to go to the back of the line. I have to come back another day. I mean, this would destroy me. I mean, it was like, oh my God, my life is ruined. And I sometimes would flip out and start screaming at them because I didn't know how to handle it. But this is the creepazoid matrix that they've made for us so that we wouldn't remember our power. That's what really I liked about that video, is that she was talking about it. We've already won in the upper realms. We have won. Now we just have to bring it down. That's a very known spiritual concept in mystic Yiddishkeit, that this drawing down in stages, like the bracha. A bracha is like in potential blessing. You've already got the blessing for everything you need. You shall not lack. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. But to bring that bracha down into this realm, maybe it's stuck up there. I mean, this is just pedantic overanalyzation of situations. The bottom line is we've already won. We know we've already won. We know this is a military operation, all of it. And it's being exposed to us and the normies, but we already know about it. So we're here in terms of I love this guy Zachary Fisher. He just says everything so well. So let me see if I can get one of his posts while we're here. I can scroll down now. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to read this, but this Zachary Fisher. Okay, there's a strange kind of peace that comes to you when you stop forcing life to match your timeline, when you stop chasing, begging, trying to control every outcome. You start to notice something subtle but powerful. The right things always seem to find their way at the right time. Okay, that's just a beautiful thing. I use this as my thumbnail, me knowing everything will work out when I saw 11:11 on the microwave. We don't have a microwave, but when we see 11:11 on the clock. Yes, Savannah's missing mom, that's like the story of the day. If you're still talking about Democrats and Republicans, you have no idea what's going on. This was an interesting thing. People need to understand that these are the most powerful and influential people in the world, and they have unlimited funding and resources. They will not go down without a fight. Things are going to get very ugly. Propaganda, psyops, major distractions, and disruptives. And unfortunately, I can't plug this in, but okay, so that's enough of that. ICE is an internal database tracking protesters for months. They've been tracking these people. They know who everybody is. It's all unfolding. And the Zachary Fisher is just wonderful. The elites of the West and East are planning to launch another global health bioterrorism attack to maintain power when election fraud is revealed to have co-opted more than 175 countries. Do not give in to fear. The last-ditch attempt will be Nassan Dorma. Nessun Dorma is the video that is played at the end of The Sum of All Fears when they kill off all the real bad guys that are hiding in the shadows. The Sum of All Fears, that's it. That's a great little piece. She gets me. Thank okay, so, you're late? Okay, hey, Anton. What's going on in Alabama? Man, I was talking about, being a Southern rocker back in the day in Nashville in, 19 must have been like 1974. I was in, the Williams the Williams family band, and Graham was a recovering alcoholic and a fiddle player. He was the leader of the band, the fiddle, and his boy Ronnie was the drummer, and Thomas, who was like Thomas and I was the guitar player. I think he had a Strat. Yeah, he had a Strat. Unbelievable guitar player, man. He was unbelievable. And so was Ronnie, the bass player, and Danny, and they just were they could play a square dance for hours. And I played banjo in the band, and there were times, a few times, maybe 2 or 3 times where while playing, I just I left my body. It was just the whole thing just turned into the rhythm and everything. It was just amazing. Anyway, we would also spend a lot of time drinking beer in the car during breaks, but we're here to celebrate your framing success. So we are celebrating with you a special bottle of Asti Spumante, my favorite. We're your age, so congratulations. Yeah, I mean, if you saw what I'm quelling, what I'm so excited about, it's just I put like the outside frame around it. We also set up a scaffold in the middle, so and honestly, I know how to frame this small box, but then there's a big box, and I have to figure out how to frame it because it's really big, and to put 2 by 6s across it, I don't know. I may have to put some other braces in, but it's just exciting. It's just exciting that no ma despite ourselves, life moves on and life progresses in the way we coulda come up here and just after a couple months said, "This is just not for us. Let's go rent a place in Kingman." Let's sell the property. We could sell it for twice what we bought it for and kick back and watch TV. We didn't. We've just Daniela and I do not have the concept of we're not going with this and we're not going to have it. We've been up against the wall the whole time, and we just like, okay, let's just keep going, and we'll wait till we get some money, and we'll buy some used lumber that's all crooked and make it work. Daniela's with me now. She's like, well, let's see if we can use some of those real curvy pieces on the water tower, because who cares? We're not gonna have any inspectors coming in. Well, this board is it's 3% off, and I have to share the funniest that you want to get a laugh. This is my sense of humor, but I did I'm not sure if I used it as the thumbnail tonight, but there's a thumbnail that just really makes me laugh. I wonder, can I bring that up? I don't know if I can bring it up, but it's a guy like it's an orangutan or a big gorilla sitting there thinking like thinking, another day has passed and I haven't been able to use the formula for finding the surface of a cone. I mean, I just find that, you think about all the stupid shit you learned in school, like the surface, the two-dimensional, the surface area of a cone. Yet another day has gone by and I haven't had to use that formula. I mean, I don't know. That just makes me laugh. But I don't remember if I used I made it into a thumbnail, so I'll use it the next couple days. But I think everything is going just perfectly, swimmingly. We're heading for the promised land. It's nothing can stop what's coming. I like what that girl said. It's like But I mean, you and we're meant to go down rabbit holes. It's not like we're going to retire from rabbit holes because it doesn't affect us. We've been doing this for 10 friggin' years, man. I mean, what are we going to find out that's worse than eating children? What could be, torturing and eating children? That's out there, man. I mean, most people don't really probably haven't put that together. We have. And it's just, oh, okay, w- w- there was a post that said, because there are a lot of posts on X that are like people are saying, how do I go to work knowing that the world is run by these creepazoids? We never had that. I mean, well, we were all fired, or I was fired from my job anyway, so it didn't matter. But they were itching to fire me from the get go. The moment I stepped into the Department of Education, New York City, I started out in the most liberal little enclave in Brooklyn. It's some little shithole, like where old, wannabe hippies like my friend from Facebook, who, Park Slope. I started out in Park Slope, and I was dressed like a proper Hasidic Yid. They, a lot of them, really, the worst attackers were Reformed Jews who just they didn't know that I was an old hippie. Because it doesn't matter who you were or where your consciousness it's what you look like. So I was an Orthodox Jew to them. They didn't know that I knew probably less about Judaism than they do at the time. I was just new to it. I was a newbie. I'd been to yeshiva for 2 years, and they just saw this guy with a yarmulke and a white shirt teaching their little liberal kids, and they went ballistic from the get-go. I mean, they tortured me. Anyway, I mean, if you come into money, you should buy one of those drone copters and fly from the top and to shop. Right, you're right. Then I wouldn't need a license. There were some of those copters have been going by our house lately. We saw this like airship today that was just like, what the hell is that thing? It was like an airplane with helicopter propellers. Yeah, you're right. I should just fly into town, then I wouldn't have to worry. That's a great idea. Sorry, officer, I forgot my flying license. I mean, I fought the law and the law won. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like Daniela says, what if it's $5? We should just pay it. But I don't want to. I just don't want to. I mean, if I live the highway in front of in front of the ranch where I live is the most heavily trafficked child trafficking highway in America. I mean, you got time to worry about my registration, and you don't have time to check out, the trafficking going on the highway right in front of our town. Doesn't make sense. But then again, a lot of things don't make sense, and I shouldn't quite. I should have learned. You would think at almost 71. I'm going to be 71 in a few days. At almost 71, I come to the maturity of being able to say, "Oh, it's okay. I'll just pay the. I'm not. I'm not. I'm relentless. I was born this way, and I will die this way. I will die. It's just I won't die. I'm not planning to die. Well, first of all, I don't believe in death anyway. But I'm the same dude I was when I was 14 years old. But anyway, yeah, that doesn't matter. So we came here with a mission, and I'm still willing, right? No matter what, we're still willing. Just show me weed, whites, and wine, and you show me a sign, and I'll be willing to be moving. Anyway, the vibration of music. I've played Strats for 60 years. Yeah, I wish I had half the Strats that I sold. What is Kabbalah? Kabbalah means to receive. It really means to receive. And that it's in alignment with the idea that we are receivers. We receive from the Most High. We don't need intermediaries. We don't need, I mean, it says that it says in Orthodox Judaism that the most important tenet of the religion is to believe in the coming of Mashiach every day. Well, I don't buy it, because if you're waiting for Mashiach every day, you're not going to be open to just doing it yourself, which is what this, I think what this woman was talking about. It's just like, you got the goods, man. All right, let's play the tune. All right, guys, and we'll call it a night. Thanks for putting up with me. We got 158 people. Yeah, I mean, the channel hasn't exploded yet. Will it ever explode? I don't care. It might. It would be nice. Oh, I know. I haven't talked about LifeWave at all. But you know, if you're interested in good health like this is a glutathione patch. It stimulates your body. It doesn't put glutathione in your body. It stimulates your body to produce glutathione. I have an X39 patch that stimulates the body to produce stem cells, and the stem cells will do what they want. And it takes time. It could take a while for you to feel the improvement in your existence. The Eon patch deals with inflammation, both internal mental inflammation and physical inflammation. It's Dr. Stacy calls it the happy patch. Danielle and I have a shipment of Eon patches at the post office. So we're going to drive into town and get them, because if you have any aches and pains, Eon is unlocks it. If you're still taking Tylenol, it's kind of dangerous. Let me just play a quick clip from my mentor. What happened? Wait, where'd it go? Okay, yeah, let's try this. Oh no, I have to wait. I have to. This restream. They redid everything, or something happened. I pressed the wrong button. Oh yeah, I have to do this. Okay, so
when you're activating these processes inside of the body, that biochemical reaction that's happening instantly with the mitochondria, it's just boom, boom, boom. Like you can't even think as fast as this is happening. All of the components need to be there, and water is a big one. Half your body weight in ounces every day. Throughout the day, after 12 hours, you take your patch off and you throw it away, or you put it on your furry little baby running around, or your plant. And then you get up the next morning and you do the same thing again. And you do it over and over and over and over and over and over again until the end of time.
yeah, Dr. Stacy says something to the effect that the only way if you don't have the patch, you'll never know, kind of thing. But our experience is that the patches are tremendous, tremendous, tremendous transformers of health and inductors of youth. It's beautiful, because it's your own body. You're just signaling your own body to take care of business. So I recommend you, and I invite you to call Dr. Stacy, send her a text, send her an email, and order some patches today. It's a great way to go. It's and it focuses. There was a Zachary Fisher thing that was saying, whatever you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on good health, you're focusing on investing in XRP and silver, you're focusing on, having a great relationship, you're focusing on building a house, whatever it is you're focusing on, you're focusing on not getting in trouble with the constable in town who because you don't have you don't want to get your truck, whatever you're focusing on will expand. So why not focus on good health instead of focusing on insurance? Insurance is like the opposite, where it says, oh, if something happens, then I will have this, I will be protected. We want to be proactive. We want to be involved with health, not the opposite of health. So the LifeWave patches, if nothing else, signal to you, to your consciousness, that you want good health. Then your diet changes. You stop eating the slop, the poisons they produce at the food counters. Even the sprayed organic, they spray organic fruits with those misters with some kind of chemicals. It's just these creeps they can't give it up with the chemtrails and everything else. They're just relentless, but they will be taken down. And like that woman says, in the spiritual realm, they're already gone. They've lost, because an idea cannot be killed. You can't kill an idea, and enough people have this idea. Thank you for your podcast. You helped me so much reach my dreams amidst my trials. Thank you. That makes me so happy, because you all got it, man. We've been told we don't. We got the demon of doubt. No. Start with me. No. See, you could get the demon of doubt at any time. You could come, slip into the middle. You're having a good time. You finally got you're playing the 9-hole golf course, and suddenly the demon of doubt gets into you mid-stroke and says, "What are you doing? You don't know how to play golf," and then your stroke sucks and everything falls. No, you just don't. It's like court. If you get a summons, if you get people saying you don't pay your credit card bills, we're going to come over and whatever it is, just ignore them, and they'll go. Well, they will go away. But if you engage them, it's just like engaging with LifeWave. LifeWave, you engage in a positive way, or you can engage in a negative way. Stay away from those creeps. They're going down. I'm this guy, the officer who pulled me over, he couldn't have been 23. I mean, he probably never heard of Jeffrey Epstein, but he's going to hear about it, and he's going to understand that there's no way you're going to get people to pay a traffic ticket when the world is run by people who eat children. It's just not going to happen. Okay. You can say, well, you're going to go to jail. I'm like, well, you're going to really expend all that energy? Anyway, so we got this. So let's just play this tune to remember where we're going and where we came from, and that it's all good. Oh my gosh. I can't see. I have to plug it on first. It's just so maddening. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. stopped paying taxes. Your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us. Hospitals grow like weeds. Move into paradise. I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Yeah, so Kabbalah means to receive. So what it means is that you are a receiver for high thoughts, for godly thoughts, for divine inspiration. Remember the Shabbos? Yeah. So I do take off. I observe Shabbos my way of doing it, but yeah, it's all good, and whatever, however you do it. But the, you are the force. May the force be with you. You are the force. As long as you stay out of fear, you will be able to create whatever you want to create. That's what we're here for. You are source itself. You are the creator. You are the receiver of creation. You embody thoughts. I go outside and I'm like, what am I going to do about this framing situation? And suddenly I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I could do that. I didn't even think of that. Where do those thoughts come from? It's that you're in the divine flow. You're not stuck. You're not blocking the light. All you have to do is be open. Really you have to do is not think so much, but in particular, any thought that's colored by fear is going to bend the light in the wrong direction, or not in the wrong direction. You go through things. You can go through. I went through years of being frightened all the time, and then eventually it was just like that whole thing just fizzled out. The fear just went away. But yeah, we got this. So it's going to be amazing. Whether people are saying where are the arrests? I think these people have already been arrested. We're just getting like the movie now. We're getting the gory details. Why the chemtrails are still going on, I don't know. But let's hope they end soon. We're coming out. The whole world is waking up. Everywhere in on this flat round, whatever you want to call it. And I don't care what, if you want to call it potatoes, I call it potatoes. It's a kumbaya. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.